Hey there, good Sunday morning. It's March 15th. We have a lot to talk about in the weather department, so I figured I'd jump on here for a discussion that we all can have. It's calmer today, but a very, very dynamic system is going to be setting up on Monday. So we have a lot to talk about with Monday's forecast. We'll look ahead to the beginning of spring. I also wanted to talk about, we've got reports of an earthquake that happened near Moodus. So we'll talk all about that this morning, and let us know what you've seen, what you've felt, and we're going to really focus though on tomorrow's storm threat. So I'm going to go ahead and pop up all of our graphics, all of that good stuff. Here we go. So I want to start with our satellite and radar because this system is so interesting. So let me go ahead and grab my little pointer here if I can find it. So right here, that is a blizzard happening. Minneapolis, check your flights as well. A lot of people are heading out for spring break. And I know flights in Minneapolis have been a lot of them have been canceled over towards parts of the Great Lakes region as well. Just really heavy snow, strong winds. But take a look at what's happening in central Illinois right now. That is a cold front that is forming, and that is thunderstorm activity that is going to create quite a problem in parts of the Midwest today and then the East Coast tomorrow. So a lot going on here in the weather department. We'll break it all down for you here. Let me go ahead and just take a look at here. So here is this. I do want to talk about the earthquake a little bit, though, because it looks like we had two little reports. So let me see if I can go ahead and pull this one up too. So there was a 2.1 magnitude earthquake just to the northeast of Haddam. That was at 8:21 this morning. Looks like there was also a little itty bitty one. Let's see if we can grab that one too. 1.9 at 8:26 a.m. So we did see a lot of reports from that, even as far as Colchester there. So that is what that was. Let us know if you heard it or felt it. That was about almost 2 hours ago now. So something that we were watching. But again, I do want to focus on these storms. So here's this system. It's putting itself together. I also want to highlight, let me see if I can draw a little bit on here. So let's go ahead and see what's going on. Okay, so this right here, we've got moisture that is headed in our direction, that's moving in from the south, and that's what we're going to be seeing in roughly, I'm doing the math right now, like 15 hours or so as we head towards late tonight and into tomorrow morning. So that is what's on the way, and it's going to come together with the system that is sitting right here. So all of that is coming together, and it's going to push in our direction and create quite a stormy day on Monday. So I wanted to show this graphic for you here because if I can just pull it up, taking its time. So severe weather outbreak is expected over parts of the Midwest today. That's already starting in Illinois right now. They've got a level 3 for that severe weather that stretches across a lot of the Midwest, the Mississippi River Valley. But take a look at what happens tomorrow. That is an even larger severe threat. This is from the Storm Prediction Center. That's from Washington, D.C. down into parts of South Carolina. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit. That's a level 4. That's a big deal. I mean, that includes parts of Maryland, even stretching into like the Philadelphia region as well. Raleigh, the Raleigh-Durham area, really getting kind of the brunt of this system here, and then it stretches all the way down into Florida. So I'm thinking of all the people that are going on, spring break trips for this week, right? This is going to create a big issue on Monday. Let's zoom in though on Connecticut. For tomorrow, a teeny tiny sliver of Western Connecticut is under a level 1 severe threat. I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not too concerned about it right now. The setup doesn't look quite right for us here, but not to say that we won't see some stronger storms, some heavy rain, some strong wind gusts. I think wind is our biggest threat for tomorrow, 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And then that rain is going to be a concern because of how think of all the snow that's melted. Our river levels are already on the higher side and our grounds are saturated. So where does all of that rain go, right? It goes into our rivers and it could be standing as well. That's only if we can get a couple of thunderstorms going that produce some really heavy rain in a short amount of time. and that is going to be possible. So that's kind of what we're watching here. So we do have kind of the Northeast in general is watching that chance for those storms to happen. It would not be widespread flooding, I wouldn't think. It would be more localized. So something that we're definitely going to keep an eye on there. Let's talk about, let's go ahead and just map out tomorrow for you. So if it wants to load, eventually we'll get there. But all right, so here's that blizzard I was telling you about in parts of the upper Midwest, Great Lakes region. That's lifting to our north, and here comes the rain. It should be here well after midnight. Really, as you're heading out tomorrow morning, just be prepared for a wet start to the day. That's some heavy rain across a lot of the region here. So that could slow you down as you're heading off to work, school, whatever it might be for your Monday. So something that we're watching there, but you'll notice just kind of waves, periods of rain, and some of it heavy at times. We definitely have the moisture in play for this rain. I do expect some dry time tomorrow, but I would still be watching for rain just about all day long, on and off, just waves of it here. This is what we're watching though. Take a look at this. Let me back it up a little bit. You see that line of thunderstorms in Pennsylvania, parts of New York? That is the cold front. That's what we're going to be watching. That's what's going to create that severe weather threat across a lot of the country later, or really the East Coast tomorrow. So that's what we're watching closely. You'll notice though, it really starts to fall apart as it makes its way into Connecticut. We also have the timing on our side. Severe weather, it's coming through. At this point, I'm thinking that line would come through after about the 9-10 p.m. hour. At that point, we lose a lot of energy in the atmosphere. So I don't think that the storms have the highest potential for severe weather. So that is good news there. However, it's still expecting some heavy rain and some strong winds, especially behind that system. Take a look at this, though. Can you believe, a severe weather threat in like the Philadelphia region, and then they might even see a couple of snowflakes. So that just shows you just how crazy this system is. I don't think we see snow here. I can't rule out a flake or two in the northwest corners as we go towards Tuesday morning, but really cooling down into Tuesday, and that wind is going to stick around as well. If anybody has any questions, please let me know. I'm going to make sure that I'm not missing any questions out there, but that's kind of what we're watching as we are going through your Sunday. So I don't think I've missed anything so far, but yeah, that's kind of what that's what we're looking at for Tuesday. So I'll show you some forecasts that we put together for this morning. So St. Patrick's Day Parade is in New Haven today at 1:30 p.m. Honestly, as much as we want the warmer weather, we can't complain about this. Just grab a jacket. Cloudy skies and a calm wind. Temperatures in the low 40s, just a little bit cooler than average for this time of year. Somebody's asking if winter is over. It's trying to hold on. It really is. We were talking about this on the show this morning. Every big storm we've had this year has been on a Monday, right? That big snowstorm in January. We had the blizzard on February. This one is a big one as well, but it's rain, so it's a little bit easier to manage, but it's still something we're going to have to keep an eye on for tomorrow. As for winter being over, never say never, because it's trying to hold on. And I'll tell you right now, it's going to feel more like winter on St. Patrick's Day, because temperatures are going to be in the 30s, but that wind is the big factor, and that's going to make it feel more like the 20s through the day. Just kind of a blustery day here in mid-March there on St. Patrick's Day. So I wish we were done with winter. I don't think it's quite over just yet. It's holding on enough to create this crazy weather. And that's why we have this severe weather outbreak for a lot of the country tomorrow and today in the Midwest. So very, very interesting setup here. I do want to talk about those wind gusts, though, because I think they could be pretty hefty at times. We're talking upwards of 50 miles an hour at times. That is very windy. As of late, I don't think we have any advisories or anything like that. We do have a high wind watch for Rhode Island and Boston and the Cape, the islands there, because of those winds will likely be the strongest in that region. I'm going to make sure that nothing else has been issued. by the National Weather Service. But I could very well see some wind advisories, maybe even flood watches issued ahead of Monday. So something to keep an eye on there. Somebody's asking, when is the heaviest period of rain? That is a fantastic question. Let's go ahead and go through it, because I think the heaviest of the rain, there's two parts here. I think we're going to see some heavy rain when a warm front moves through the region on Monday. So there's two parts to the system we're paying attention to: the warm front that lifts first, and then the cold front that sweeps on through afterwards. So tomorrow morning, between the hours of roughly 5 and 10 a.m., we can see some pretty heavy rain at times, a couple of rumbles of thunder, but that's just the first surge of moisture with this system. Now, in between the warm front and the cold front, still can see some rain on and off through the day. But I think another period of heavy rain would come with that cold front moving through. You'll definitely hear it or feel it, because that wind will be picking up as the cold front moves through. The wind will be out of the south. When the cold front comes through, it switches out of the northwest. So that's what we would see with tomorrow evening. I think the time frame there would roughly be about 7 p.m. to midnight. For the strongest winds and potentially those thunderstorms there. Not expecting severe weather, really. I think that stays to our southwest. It gets close, but I do think it stays to our southwest. And then we will be monitoring 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts and 2 to 3 inches of rain. That's a lot of rain on its own, but adding that onto the fact that our ground is very muddy and saturated right now because of all of the rain all of the snow melt that we've seen this week. Our rivers are already running a little high, so that's really something to keep in mind as we go through, not just Monday, but as the rivers level out later on this week, something to keep an eye on for sure. Somebody's asking about power outages when winds are over 50 miles an hour. That definitely can lead to some power outages, so we will keep an eye on that. I know when I had another question this morning about pollen. Pollen's gotten worse over the last couple of days. I've been seizing a little bit, tree pollen especially, but the rain should help wash it out a little bit. So maybe you'll feel some relief through Monday and Tuesday. But I have checked over the last couple of days that tree pollen has started to grow, especially because of how warm and sunny it was earlier this week. Doesn't it feel like a lifetime ago that it was nice outside? Like back on Tuesday, Wednesday, it was gorgeous. And now we're dealing with these storms. Spring's trying, guys. Spring is trying to move into the region. It's just winter is holding on. And that's why it's providing something like this temperature roller coaster. 46 today, 60 on Monday, and then back in the 30s Tuesday and Wednesday. I'll tell you, winter's holding on, but hopefully spring can take over here soon. As for people are asking about the future, what does the rest of March look like? Not great. If you're looking for spring-like weather, I'm actually let me show you this this map that we got from the Climate Prediction Center. So this shows you kind of through the majority of March, the rest of March here, really warming up in the southwest, the central parts of the country here, but the northeast, unfortunately, here in New England, staying cool. So spring's trying to take over, and it looks like it will in the central and western parts of the country, but the northeast still hanging on to cooler air. So I would expect, that's why I'm like, winter's not done yet. Not done just yet. We still are going to have some cooler temperatures through a good majority of March. I will tell you, though, let me actually pull this one up because I thought this was a really cool graphic as well. Things are drying out quite a bit behind this system. So we've got this storm on Monday, and I'll talk more about that, of course, as we go through this live stream. But things are really drying out after this. We only have one other rain chance in the 10-day forecast, and that's a couple of showers by next Saturday. Other than that, pretty dry. So we'll take it. I guess it'd be nice if it would warm up a little bit, but I guess it could be worse. So here's a look at your 10-day forecast, because those temperatures are in the 40s today, calm winds, but it's cloudy out there. And then just thunderstorms, very windy for Monday. I am monitoring the chance for a wind advisory, even a flood watch to be issued on Monday. Also, we talked about it this morning, but let us know there was an earthquake that was reported in near Moodus, near Haddam and Moodus this morning. So let us know if you heard or felt that as well. But we are monitoring that chance for thunderstorms and that wind through Monday. It's still going to be breezy on Tuesday. Not the best St. Patrick's Day. It's dry, but it's just windy with temperatures in the 30s. Still in the 30s on Wednesday. And then we try to warm back up by the by the end of the week. That's when the first day of spring is. That's on Friday. Here's the shorelines forecast. Temperatures in the 40s by the end of the week. You'll notice, though, a chance for a couple of showers on Saturday. It doesn't look like a huge deal at this point in time. So it might be pretty dry as we after Monday for sure. So that's kind of what we're watching here. Trying to see if there's anything else I wanted to talk about. Let us know if you have any questions as well. I hope you all have a great Sunday. Thank you all for wishing me well as well. Yeah, it's not too bad. Not a bad day out there. I would just stay weather aware for Monday. Like I said, I'm not too concerned about severe weather here in Connecticut. Now, I think it's going to be a big talker along the East Coast. I mean, a big weather story tomorrow is going to be that severe outbreak from Maryland all the way down into South Carolina. That's a big deal. All up and down the East Coast, a huge system there. So that'll be a big talker for tomorrow for Connecticut. Thunderstorms. We're on the northern side of this system here, but we're still going to see that wind and a stormy Monday as well. So let me know if you have any questions about what's coming. We've got the team here to answer those questions later on today. Anthony will be in, and then Bob, Ryan, and Steve are here all week long to track this out for you. Somebody's asking real quick, any risk of severe weather for Monday? How far north could it reach? Here, I'll show you this. Technically, the Storm Prediction Center does have a little sliver of Western Connecticut under a level 1 risk, but I'll tell you, I think the risk really does stay to our southwest here. I mean, take a level 4. That's a big deal for tomorrow from Maryland. That's Maryland down into South Carolina. That's a very big deal there. So that is something to really pay attention to. And it's the same system as we move up towards Connecticut. We had a level 1 for New York City, and yeah, that sliver of Western Connecticut. Not too concerned about it. Truthfully, I don't think everything is in our favor for that. So that's good news. That's for severe weather. I'm saying that as in, like, do I think a severe thunderstorm warning would be issued? At this point, I don't see that being a huge possibility. Not to say there won't be some strong storms out there, though. Heavy rain and some strong winds. I mean, we might just be right under that severe threshold. Sorry, can't get my words out this morning. So still something to pay attention to for sure. I mean, when you have a system this strong, anything is still possible. So again, heavy rain tomorrow morning. This threat that I'm showing you right here would be for mainly tomorrow evening. So between about the hours of 7 p.m. and midnight, that kind of seems to be the biggest threat that we are tracking for you there. So great questions for sure. Just making sure that that we have covered everything. Somebody's asking about flooding risk. Yes, if you're just joining now, we are also monitoring some heavy rain as well. A flash flood outlook's been issued from DC all the way up to Maine. We're really paying attention to all the snow melt that's happened over the last several days. And so our grounds are saturated. Our river levels are already on the higher side. So 2 to 3 inches of rain, not the best scenario for us. So what we would need to have happen is we need to have some thunderstorms develop, some really heavy rain over parts of the region. We are expecting 1 to 3 inches across the region. So I think we might be talking about those higher river levels, especially as we head towards like Tuesday and Wednesday. But flash flooding, I mean, anytime that we get some thunderstorms to dump some heavy rain on us, that could lead to some standing water at times, especially when our grounds are so saturated right now. So, and by saturated, I mean it's muddy, right? I mean, all of the snow melt that's happened over the last couple of days. So something to really pay attention to through your Monday. Stormy, very rainy, very windy. Make sure you're staying safe. Hopefully we don't see power outages, but anytime that the wind is over 50 miles an hour for an extended period of time, that's always possible. And it's going to be breezy into Tuesday as well, that St. Patrick's Day, but much cooler with temperatures in the 30s. So that is pretty much all I've got for you here this morning, your Sunday. Thank you so much for starting the day with us. Let's see if we've got any other comments here. Yeah, Ben saying, that wind definitely going to be a big factor for tomorrow. Yeah, and the thunderstorm threat. So something that we really have to keep in mind. This is a big system early in the severe season for Connecticut specifically, tracking those thunderstorms and those strong winds. So we'll keep you updated here on NBC Connecticut. We hope you have a great rest of your Sunday. Enjoy the calmer winds. It is cloudy. It is cool out there, but we are monitoring, of course, that heavy rain and stronger winds into your Monday. And we'll keep you updated as that rolls on through. Then things are just cooler through the rest of the week. But I do think things are calmer by the middle of the week. And the first day of spring, if you're counting down, first day of spring officially is on Friday. We'll have 12 hours of daylight officially this week as well. Those sunrises go back into the 6 a.m. hour, and the sunsets will be in the 7 p.m. hour. Thank you again so much for joining us. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Stay safe.